In addition to describing the shape of a graph, we should also talk about the center of a distribution. So the center, there's more than one way. In this particular video, we're only going to talk about one way, and then I'm going to talk to you about a different way in just a little bit. So one way to describe the center is using the median. Median is just our halfway point. It's our midpoint, really. So that's where we find our median is really that we just count in from each side, half the values to the left, half the values to the right. We'll talk about the other way in another lesson, and then talk about when to choose which one. So to find the median, the first thing that you have to do, and you have to do it, is to order the values from least to greatest. If you don't have the values from least to greatest, it's impossible to do. And then we're just going to count in to find our middle data point. So here I would count in from each side, so 2 in from each side, 3 in from each side, 4 in from each side, and I end up with 8 as my median. Now, if you have an even number of data, I'm counting in and I've counted 2 off of each side and I have 2 values left over. So my median is not 8 and 10. I would say let's take 8 plus 10, which is 18, and divide it by 2 because there were 2 values, and find that my median is 9. When we're dealing with center, you have to also be very careful if you have a frequency table. So looking at this frequency table, you can see that these two frequency tables are very, very similar. Looking at this one, there is a total of 29 items, and this is a total of 30 items. So when I have a total of 29 items, I can take 29 divided by 2, and that gives me a value of 14.5, and that tells me that I'm going to round up to 15, and I'm going to count 15 in from each side. So don't be fooled by this and say, well, the middle is 5, because that's not necessarily true. So if I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, then this has to be the median. I can also count in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So again, we're at 6. Now, if you're dealing with an even number of items, like here we have 30, if I take 30 divided by 2, I get 15. If I count 15 items in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, one of them is 6, but from this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So counting in 15, I now get 2 values, and I would have to then take the average of those 2 values, which would give me 6.5. So be very careful when you're dealing with a frequency table, whether you're dealing with something in Excel or a frequency table that looks like this. If there's an odd number of items, you round up and count to that numbered item from either side. If there's an even number of items, you're going to have to count in that many from each side and then average the 2 values. So I would like for you to find the median of the 2 data sets that I've given you here. So press pause, find both medians, then press play to check your work. So for the first, again, I'm going to count in from each side. So 1 in from each side, 2, 3, 4. I end up with 38 in the center. And then for my second, I take 2 from each side. I've got 2 middle values, so I'm adding those together, which gives me 72 divided by 2. So my middle value is 36, which would be the value that is halfway between each of those.